Do you know someone who wears compression stockings, or do you yourself wear compression stockings and have a very difficult time putting them on? Well, I just might have a solution for installing zippers, sewing in zippers for your existing compression stockings without you having to spend a little extra money and purchasing them that are already made with zippers installed. Hi, it's Teresa from 360 Handmade Bags, and thank you for being here with me. If you're a current subscriber, thanks for coming back. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, and thanks for coming along for the ride. So this is what I have been working on. This was not going to be my first planned tutorial for sewing, as I am a bag maker, but in the community that I live in, I do alterations, sewing alterations, and somebody asked me if I was able to install zippers into their current compression stockings that they are having an extremely difficult time putting on. And I just remember my dad, when he wore compression stockings, he had to get rubber gloves or gloves that had silicone nubs on them so that he could pull them onto his legs, and he just used to have such a difficult time. So this is what I have come up with. So this is a very thick compression stocking, and I have been able to install a zipper, and I've written out the instructions, and hopefully I'll be able to follow them with you guys watching, or with you watching. And I have done these two pairs. So this is the right, because the customer wanted the zippers on the inside of the leg, and this is the left with the zipper on the this is the left with the zipper on the inside. So they sit like this when somebody is wearing them, and very easy. Oh, sorry. Very easy to get into and out. Also, welcome to my new setup. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do my videos, and for you to see me at the sewing machine as well. So give me a quick sec while I make an adjustment so that you can see my work desk and sewing machine at the same time, and then I'll show you what I've been up to. The thing is first of all, when I first started recording this video, this how-to video, I forgot to hit record. So I had started doing the compression stocking that I was working on, and I had started doing that without hit recording. So I'll just explain to you what I have done so far and how I did it, and then we'll continue on with the rest of installing the zipper into this one. All right, just give me a quick sec. Okay, and I'm back. I'm also using my Monster earbuds for audio, and to see how that works. I'm trying just to figure out what works with the equipment I already have. So I'm filming with my Samsung S23 Ultra front camera. They say don't use the front camera because it's not as good as the back cameras, but believe me, I've tried many different concepts of how to use the back camera, and I just can't see what I'm doing. The only thing I find with the front facing selfie camera on my phone is on the bottom there's a little circle shadow, and I don't know what that is. I'm also trying a ring light to add more light to my desk, and we'll just see how this works out. So anyhow, this is the compression stocking that I am currently working on, and I'm working at an odd angle because let me just see if I can just turn it this way. I don't want to get me into the frame, so I'm still trying to figure out how I can work this out so that I can still see what I'm doing. All right, there you go. That's a little better. So this is the left stocking that I'm working on right now. All right, and I forgot to get my written instructions. Okay, here we go. So the first thing you do is, if there is a pre-made zipper, which is one like this that has the zipper pull already on it and a bottom end, then what you do is you take your zipper, and these ends that are extra at the top, what I do is I put double-sided tape onto the back and then fold them over so that they have an even fold over. So I have done that on this one because, like I said, I was videotaping, or what I thought I was videotaping, and I didn't hit record. So there's one, and then I have double-sided tape. I've already taken the backing off. I'm using 1/8 inch double-sided tape, and I'm just going to fold that one over as well, and it sticks. Double-sided tape is your best friend, like I said. Alrighty, I was going to have a table here so I could have my instructions here, but I'll just put them beside me. So what you also have to do is measure your zipper length with the top edge folded down, okay? And so this person that I'm doing this job for, she had purchased the zippers for me already. In my bag making, I use Zipper by the Yard, which looks like this. There's no zipper ends at all. They're just they're continuous zipper, and you put the zipper pull on, you create a zipper tab or zipper stop at either end, and that's what I use in bag making. And I'm going to show you how to use that type of zipper and create and to be able to use it as well. So this particular zipper, I'm going to show you the one that I haven't done anything with. So this is your regular zipper, but what she did was she purchased the ones that don't have that metal stop here. So when you unzip the zipper, this one, it's like a jacket. It opens, it comes right apart, and it's the type that you have to feed into the bottom and zip back up, just like a jacket. So that is not going to work on the zipper installation project, because then this will come apart at the bottom. So what I have done is I have created a zipper stop or a zipper end at the bottom here. And all I did was I took a piece of elastic, and I took on the right side, I'm going to just show it to you on the Zipper by the Yard that I use. So I put the elastic on the front of the right side of the zipper with the zipper teeth up. I sewed a 1/4 of an inch inseam. I'm just going to do that on this one, so I'm just going to show you what I did, and then you'll actually see what happens with the Zipper by the Yard and how this works as well. Also, just so that you know, the thread that I'm using is just plain old Gutermann heavy duty beige thread that I got at Walmart in the sewing section. So I'm just going to sew this elastic onto the one edge of the Zipper by the Yard, and get my light out of the way so I can see what I'm doing, and just sew it on there, just with a 1/4 of an inch inseam. Snip off my threads. Hopefully I'll get them in the garbage. So I've sewn that on, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it up and fold it to the back. So now I'm showing you the wrong side of the zipper, and I'm making a zipper stop. So I'm just going to take one of my clips and just clip the one edge, and then I'm just going to sew across the top of that, or maybe even on this side so I can see where the edge is. I'm just going to sew across and seal that up, so then I am going to have an actual zipper end and it won't come undone. I don't know about you guys, but today it is very, very hot where I live. Jim and I went to the beach this morning to sit and have a Tim Hortons, and just to sit and enjoy some peace and quiet at the beach. And then 2 school buses came. It was a tour bus, two school buses full of visitors from another country, and they all came around our truck where we were sitting, and they decided to stop there, and yeah, there must have been about 50 or more of them, I don't know. So anyways, unfortunately it was not very quiet and peaceful for us, and we had to get up and we went home. So there you have it. So there's the right side of the zipper with the teeth up, and there's the zipper end. I'm not trimming these at the moment, but what you can do to seal them is take your lighter and just seal the edges. That's the one thing that's really, really great about polyester, is that it will melt. And your polyester thread will, when you take your lighter to it, it will melt as well, which helps to seal the ends. All right, and then, so this zipper, so this is a number 5 zipper that I use for bag making. Number 3 zippers are a lot thinner, and they're, and that's what I would use for a zipper for an interior pocket on a bag. But the number 5 zippers I use for my exterior zippers, you know, that are more heavy duty. So when I install a zipper pull, number 5 zipper pull, one of the things is when you pull it away, see if I can get that focused. When you pull it away, you're going to see one tooth sits a little higher than the other. So this is the right side. So what I'm going to be doing is putting the right side of the zipper pull, it's hard to see, on the teeth side first. Pull it apart a bit. And then put the other side in. One side's going to be a little more wonky. It's not going to be straight. And if you were to slide that on, you'll wind up with a gap here. So it's not, so then what I kind of do is I push the teeth together, and I kind of, on the one side, I'll pull it up so that the zipper pull sits straight, push it down with my finger, and then I'll take the pull and pull it. And then you have a zipper pull installed. However, I see, look at this. Well, if this was to go into that sock, it wouldn't work because I put it on the wrong way. I should have had the zipper going up, starting from the bottom. I should have put the zipper pull on first and then it. But at least you saw how you can install a zipper end and a zipper pull on just straight continuous zipper tape. Anyway, all right, so that's what I did on this zipper that she provided me with. So we have the top ends folded down, and then I've added, so what I did was also, so this is one that I haven't done anything with. So what I did was I cut that end off, and that's where I created the zipper pull. So you have to, when you measure the zipper, you know, from one end to the other folded end. And I believe that these were 8.5 inches. And of course, oh, there's my measuring tape. Okay, so this now measures, yeah, so it now measures 8.5 inches. So on the inside seam, or on the inside of each pocket, so that'll be the side, or the sock, that'll be the side that, you know, when you put your legs together, your calves are together. Find the center of the interior side of the sock. So all I do is I just lay it flat like this, and then I just fold it and make a little crease. And then what I do is then I will measure down from the top, and I'll use my ruler, which I thought I had here. Okay. Oh, there's everything falling. All right, so, and then I'll take my ruler and I'll start at the top, right along that seam line, 8.5 inches, and then to the end here, and then I'll take a pencil. You're not going to see it, and then I'll mark my line from that point, okay? And then you, and then here comes the moment of truth. Then you cut that, then you cut where you drew the line, make sure it, you know, ensuring that this is right in the center, that this line, where your new zipper is going to be installed. So I cut that right to the end. Now, this is the part, all right, so the next step is turn the stocking inside out. And then on the inside of the stocking, on the raw edges, and I've already done it because it's all folded, on the right along this raw edge cut line, right to the end, on both sides, you're going to put a strip of double-sided tape down, you know, right along the raw edge. And then you're going to turn the raw edge into a finished looking sort of seam. So then you're going to turn the raw edge onto itself. Now what happens is when you get to this little edge, because it has a cuff, you're going to wind up with like a little hole. I just put another little tiny piece of double-sided tape there, and then it just fold it over, and it seals it. Okay. Then so I already showed you how to do, okay, so you cut a 1-inch length of elastic. It's a 1-inch wide elastic that I'm using, and it's the same length as your zipper. So the elastic is going to be 8.5 inches long, just like the zipper. And you're going to take the elastic and you're going to sew it onto one of the sides of this zipper. Now this is very, very important. So with the right sock, and I use double-sided tape. I don't baste it. I use double-sided tape. So on the right sock, you would put double-sided tape on the back of the zipper down the left edge of the zipper, if you're doing the right sock. So right sock, left side that the elastic gets sewn on. If you're doing the left sock, that's why it's important to know which sock you're doing. And if you're doing the left sock, then the double-sided tape gets put down the right side of the zipper. And when I'm talking right and left, I'm talking left. This is my left and this is my right if I was looking at the zipper. So because I'm doing the left sock, I've already put the double-sided tape. It's hard to see, but I already put the double-sided tape down this side when I thought I was recording before. And then you take the elastic and then you just line up the edges of the elastic with the zipper, and the double-sided tape will be like it'll base. But what I do is I just take the zipper and I maybe put about 1/8 of an inch just lower than the top edge of the zipper. So the left sock, I am putting the the zipper down the elastic down the edge of the right side of my zipper. And I think this is where I found out that the recording wasn't happening. And what happens is this elastic is going to cover the zipper back so that it adds a little more softness against the skin, and it won't rub as much, I guess. Alrighty, so so another thing also is fray check. Now my label's gone, but this is called fray check, and it's from Dritz, and this one's almost empty. And what you do is right at the very bottom of where your cut mark is on the stocking, and where you folded over your edges, there's a little spot that's going to be like a raw edge. So give that little spot, if I can see it in the camera, just a little drop of fray check, because that will also, I mean, it's all polyester, it shouldn't fray, but it just gives a bit of extra stability. I can't see what I'm doing. I can't get this back in my bottle. All right. So I'm going to sew down the elastic onto the right side of the zipper, and I'm going to just do that right now. All right, there we have it. It has now been sewn on to the zipper. And then the next step is turn the sock right side out and lay it flat again. Put some of these things away off my desk that I'm not using. Okay, oops. All right, so now you have your sock looking like it's almost completed with the folded edges, and they're not raw edges. And then put double-sided tape. Oops, my end came undone. Okay, so I'm going to be putting double-sided tape along each side, each edge of the zipper on the right side of the zipper. So where the zipper pull is and the zipper teeth. So we're just going to do that now. Take my 1/8 inch double-sided tape and just run a strip. That's not lined up. And then just run a strip along the edge of each zipper. And it's easier, the double-sided tape I find sticks better to the zipper tape than it does to the material. Doesn't seem to be very sticky. It's a brand new roll. I get my double-sided tape from Amazon. Sorry, my 1/8 inch double-sided tape from Amazon, and it's I found that it's very expensive. I think I can get several rolls at one time. If I can remember, I'll try to link the link that I get it from. But now, don't forget, I'm in Canada, so any links from Amazon that I provide will be the Canadian Amazon website. And as it turns out, of course, I'm doing videotaping like I'm on the phone. Murphy and Frankie are on the other side of my door, and they're play fighting. Just like when my kids were little and I'd get on the phone and they'd all start fighting. They'd start fighting with each other. All right, so anyhow, I have the double-sided tape on each side of the zipper on the right side. And then the next step is take the double-sided tape off both sides of the zipper tape and put the zipper right side up on the inside of the cut sock. So let's just take the double-sided tape off on both sides. Okay, and then put the zipper on the inside of the sock, right side up. And align the top edge of the folded sock with the top edge of the zipper. Now I'm going to put the little folded part of the sock a little bit slightly higher than the zipper. And then I'm just going to do one side at a time. And then I'm just going to line up the edge of the stocking with the edge of the zipper teeth. Now, one of the things also with zippers, I don't know if it's very easy to see, but there are different lines on the zipper tape, and right here, just before the zipper teeth, there's a different line. The lines are done with different types of stitching from what I can see, and that kind of gives you a guide of where to line things up on your zipper or zipper tape. So I'm going to line the edge of the stocking right up against the teeth. And I'll do it on this side because I think you can see that. And just line it up. And just make sure there aren't any puckers because the tape will stick to, and it's like I said, it's muggy here really bad. So the humidity is very high. I have to do it this way, sorry, because I can't see the other way. And just line it up as best as you can. That does not want to stay down. It's been, all right, line that up, making sure that the tops are even. Oh boy. That zipper tape is not wanting to stick either. It's like I said, it's just so muggy here. Nothing wants to stick. Except for me. It's just too hot and I'm sticking. All right, now I probably cut my cut a little too long. So the zipper was 8.5 inches long. I'll bet you if I cut it 8 inches, then I wouldn't see this elastic. But there is a way to cover that just by kind of folding the fabric over top of the elastic. And kind of holding it together. Just kind of like that when I sew it. All right, here comes the tricky part. So, open the zipper. So right now, oh, that's not even lined up. Holy moly. Like I said, it's just so muggy out here. Wants to slide, stick. Nothing wants to work. Okay. I'm just going to take a clip and clip that in because the tape's disappeared. All right, so right now I have the zipper in the stocking with double-sided tape. Now the next step is to make sure it's going to stay. Is to undo, open the zipper almost to the end. Now my material's getting caught against the zipper teeth. My angle isn't the greatest for me to see what I'm doing, but hopefully you can see it yourself. Okay, now open the zipper almost to the end or to the end. It's not going to come apart now that I've put that on. And so 1/8 of an inch seam on the elastic side first, ensuring the elastic is sewn into the seam allowance. So because this is the left sock, I'm going to be doing this side first to ensure that the elastic and this part of the zipper get all sewn in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way down 1/8 of an inch inseam from the top all the way down to where the zipper tape ends, where the zipper ends. And I'm going to, actually, I'm just going to get some double-sided tape and kind of put that in there just to try and seal that overcutting that I did. Because, well, nothing's perfect. Take the backing off. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take these two edges and put them closer together so that they cover that elastic, and the double-sided tape holds it together. So what I'm going to do is, excuse me, I'm going to sew my 1/8 of an inch in seam allowance all the way down along the edge of the zipper. And when I get to this point, excuse me, I need to take a drink of water. When I get to this point, I'm going to go across the bottom edge, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to then take it out of the machine, and then I'm going to sew. I'm going to start at the top of this side, and I'm going to sew all the way down to this point. But before I do the ends, I'm going to make sure that I backstitch at this point, and I'm going to backstitch across the bottom. And then when I start back at the top and go down this side, I'm going to make sure that when I get to where the backstitching ended at the bottom here, I'm going to go to that point and backstitch just to kind of give it a little bit of security, because this is where that elastic zipper end is. So when after I have sewn this side down and done the end, and then when I sew this is the difficult part. when I sew this side down, because you're going to have to move your zipper. Like when you get to the point where your zipper pull is in the way, when you stop your sewing machine, make sure that your needle is down into the material. Lift the presser foot, pull your zipper tape out of the way, all at the same time of pulling the stocking out of the way. It is very challenging, but it is doable. So I'm just going to work on that, and I hope I keep my language clean. But you have to make sure that when you do come down this side, that you make sure that you also pull your elastic under the other zipper side and make sure it doesn't get sewn into this side. Because I did that at first when I was writing this pattern. Alrighty, so let's do the side with the elastic first. And I'm just doing 1/8 of an inch inseam, starting right from the top. Oops. And it's not wanting to work on me, for me. And this is, take it slow. Take this really slow because it, these are tricky. And I use my fingers a lot to feel what I'm doing as well. And as I'm stopping, I'm also making sure there's nothing getting caught underneath, and that this part is flat. And I can, like I said, I do everything I do a lot with the feel of my fingers, so I can feel if there's something underneath there. Okay, now we're coming to the end, and I'm just going to maneuver that and just sew a little bit. Okay, now this is the tricky part. So my needle is down, and I'm going to lift my presser foot. I'm just going to move this stocking. See, now this is where the maybe pins will help on this side to keep this side in. And now I'm just going to take my zipper pull and move the zipper pull up out of the way, so it's up higher and it's not in the way of my presser foot or my needle. I'm going to reset everything. That's the beauty of double-sided tape, because it will reset and you can put everything back into place. Just put my presser foot down, and then now I have to fix all this because it has all come apart, but it is fixable. There will be puckers at the bottom end, unfortunately, but this will be so beneficial for somebody who's dealing with having to wear these things. I just wish that I had been able to come up with this installation pattern for when my dad was still alive, for when he had to wear compression stockings, because it would have been so much easier for him to have them. All right, I'm just going to continue sewing. And if you need a stiletto or something like that, you know, I have tweezers. I can use tweezers to hold down my fabric. I use my thread snips a lot, just to hold things down. So I'm just going to sew to that elastic, and now I'm going to reverse back stitch just to secure that. All right, and then I'm just going to needle down, lift my presser foot, and turn it. And yes, you can see that the zipper has come apart off the other side from the, oops, I just dropped my snips. And I'm going to feel to make sure that there's nothing caught underneath. I'm going to lift my presser foot to make sure that those two edges of where I overcut meet. And I'm going to do just a couple of stitches at the bottom and back stitch. All right, now I'm done that side. Now to get it out. All right. And cut my top and bottom threads, and then I'll take the lighter to them all at the same time afterwards. Okay, so don't worry about this edge that's come apart. This double-sided tape is still there. So this is the edge that I just sewed. So as you can see, I came down here and went across the bottom of the zipper and seal that. So now I'm going to take this and zip up the zipper again, so it's not floppy. Put the double-sided tape back onto that zipper tape. Line it all back up again. Pins would have got in the way. When I think about it, pins would get in the way, and I've stabbed myself too many times with pins. I rarely use pins now. I just find that they're just too, well, in bag making you can't use pins because you don't want to be putting pins into vinyl or anything like that because it'll leave marks. So let me just clip that. Just trying to line up the top with the other edge of this side. I'll just clip that because there for some reason isn't any double-sided tape right at the edge there. And then I'll just line up the edge of the stocking on this zipper. Pull it down if you have to. Yeah, so there's going to be a pucker. I think it's going to be hard to not do that or to have that, but I'm just going to tuck that in and kind of fold that over. Anyhow, you can only do what you can do. All right, so I'm going to open the zipper again, and now I'm going to sew down this side of the zipper with 1/8 of an inch inseam, and I'll start at the top. Secure that top. And make sure that my edges, because that double-sided tape doesn't want to stick at all now. It's Murphy's Law, right? Keeping and ensuring that there's nothing else underneath these seams, this stocking, as you're sewing this edge, folded edge onto the zipper. Making sure that you pull everything out of the way, and making sure that this elastic is out of the way. There is a little bit of elastic that you're going to catch on the underside, and that's okay. That just kind of helps maybe finish it a little bit inside, and it's kind of a natural catch, I guess you could say. Okay, so I'm just going to put my needle down, lift my presser foot, and pull. This is the hard part. Pull the zipper out of the way. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay. And then, thank God these stockings do stretch to a certain extent. Pull everything out of the way from underneath. Line everything back up against the zipper because of course it's come apart again. Pull everything out from underneath on that side, and it's still going to be taking it step by step. A bit at a time. Just trying to fold that little pucker in. Not happy with that, unfortunately, so I'm going to sew that. And I'm going to back stitch at that side, and then I'm going to go down a bit from where I had that cross at the bottom of the material. Lift my presser foot so I can see what I'm doing. All right, and I think I've got everything out of the way. And I'm just going to do another bottom, securing those edges together. Ooh, come on. It may not look pretty, but it will be so beneficial for someone to have compression stockings with zippers in. Now you can buy them already pre-made with zippers, but I don't know how much these compression stockings cost, but I can imagine they probably cost quite a bit. So there you have it. It's not pretty at the bottom end. This is pretty much the third one I've done. I have probably 10 pairs of black socks for this customer to do, but I wanted to do it on the beige. That's why when I thought I was recording and I got to a certain point of where I had done what I thought I recorded, and I thought, oh no, I can't do this tutorial on black stockings because you won't see them. This is easier to see. So there it is. It's not pretty, but you can see how this zipper, when the zipper's undone, you can see how that elastic covers that zipper, and when they're done up, it covers it as well, any edges. And there is the zipper installation for a compression stocking. All right, just give me a sec, guys. Okay, so I hope, I've got a ring light going on here. I'm going to turn it because it puts in horrible glare on my glasses. So one of the things, like Murphy's Law, when I was doing this tutorial and recording it first, I didn't hit record. I thought I had hit record, and I did, but unfortunately my camera, my front camera on my phone does time out. So that's one thing. And then my glasses broke. That was Friday. This is all just on Friday. So of course the optometrist office is not open to fix my glasses. So, you know, I had an old pair of glasses on that was the wrong prescription, and I couldn't see anything. So anyhow, this is what we just did. And hopefully this will work out for you to help somebody with their compression stockings with an installed zipper. And of course, I think that this is, I just wish I had known about this for when my dad was alive and when he wore compression stockings. And these aren't even the heavy duty ones. Like this pair I did, so I already have the right one done of this pair. So, and then I have, so that's the one we just did, but these are the more heavy duty, like these are really, really thick. And so these are the ones that I installed on this one as I was writing. So as I was doing the steps, figuring out how to do this and writing the steps down is when I did these two. And so anyhow, I have like 10 pairs of black ones now to do, and I've got to get them done because I've had them for a week and she's waiting for me to finish them. So I'd just like to thank you for being here. I hope that this tutorial was helpful and that you might be able to help somebody who wears compression stockings and really needs an easier way to put them on and with a zipper install. I did go through to YouTube to Google YouTube to see if there were any tutorials already out there, and I couldn't find one. And I thought, you know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to this is my first tutorial. I was going to start with bag making, but I also just want to show you guys one of the first patterns I'm going to do as a tutorial. This was actually a great trial because it helped with the setup that I have for my phone. Like I said, I tried a rear camera setup, and because it was Prime Days with Amazon, I bought what's called a selfie monitor that you can stick on your back of the phone where the back cameras are recording, which have better quality. And I just couldn't see what I was doing. Just the setup that I have like an oscillating spring-loaded type arm that's clamped onto the side of my sewing desk here. And just trying to figure out the best possible position to set that up so that you can see me at the sewing machine. You can see what I'm doing at the table end of my sewing machine table, and not see me other than this type of a view. I don't want you guys to see the rest of me. Anyhow, one of the first patterns that I'm going to do is, I was a moderator, admin for Jeannie's Designs, who's on YouTube, and great bag making tutorial channel if you're wanting to binge watch all of hers. It's Barbie. Barbie is Jeannie's Designs. And so I was a moderator with her channel, and then I took a leave back in February. And back in February, one of our other moderators, Brenna, she was pregnant at the time. and with her first baby, and she was having a little girl, and they already knew what they were going to name her, and the baby was going to be, or is named, Magnolia Ray. What a great name. Love it. And they call her Maggie for short, and we were all just so happy and thrilled. Well, at that time, she was writing a little pattern, and it's she wanted something to put on, like, you know, your water tumblers, like if they have a handle or not. Like, you know, I use a mason jar because I don't like drinking out of plastic or metal. But it's a little pouch that has 3 card slots in it, can fit your phone and a few other little things. That's just very, very handy dandy. You can make it with a wristlet and a crossbody strap, but also a little strap that will fit around a tumbler and will affix on, and you can carry your tumbler with you with all of your essentials that you need for that day. And one thing I thought it would be great for is if you're out walking your baby and you've got your tumbler in your in the stroller drink holder, and if, say, you're going to yoga or anything like that and you just need to carry the essentials. So she wrote a pattern called the Magnolia Ray after her little baby who wasn't born at the time, traveler pouch. And this is one of the first tutorials that I'm going to do. And this is the cute bag. This is Brenna. She was pregnant with Magnolia at the time. And it's this cute little pouch that you put on your tumbler. It straps around and it Velcros tight against your tumbler. And there it is with the wristlet. And there she's wearing it as a crossbody. And there it is on the tumbler. So Brenna, when I get to the point that I'm going to do this tutorial, Brenna has also graciously said that she will give 10%. She has these for sale in her Etsy store, the pattern for sale in her Etsy store, and acrylic templates. There's a light version with a small amount of templates, and I guess the full version with the full pattern of templates on her Etsy store. But she said that when I'm ready to do this tutorial, she will give a 10% off. I don't know if it's just a 10% off on the pattern or 10% off everything on her Etsy store. We'll figure that out and I'll let you know. But I just wanted to give you a heads up that this is coming. This is going to be one of the first tutorials that I do. And I have to show you because I am in the pattern too. So when we were pattern testing for Brenna, I only made one. I've got a couple already cut out, but I just haven't had time to do them. So this is a good way for me to get my button gear to get them done. This one here is mine. So this is the one that I did, and that's my tumbler. It's a 40 or 42 ounce one, and I did it in the beige faux, Mora faux leather from Emmeline Bags with a tan color zipper, and there's the little strap at the back that you'll slide the removable strap that we will be making for it to wrap around the tumbler and to stay on the tumbler. So this is so cute, and I was just thrilled that she had our pictures, and these are all the other ones that the rest of us made, and they're just gorgeous. You can make it out of quilt cotton or, you know, waterproof canvas or vinyl or whatever. So when that comes up, I'll be letting everybody know, and I'll let you know. And also I will link in my description box the coupon code to use if you wish to purchase the pattern. So that's coming up sometime soon after I check out this video to see how my setup was and how everything worked. All right, I'm gonna head out because it is warm in here. I have these beautiful windows and so much natural light, and by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and right now it's almost 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I get the sun just beating in here. And right now it's about 30 degrees Celsius outside, which is like, I don't know, something like 90 something Fahrenheit. So to convert quickly from Celsius to Fahrenheit, so 30 plus 30 is 60 plus 32, so 92 Fahrenheit. Plus we have all the humidity. Plus we have the air quality is really, really bad here in central southern Ontario because of the wildfires that are burning up in northern Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, all across the northern part of Canada. So just a lot of prayers out to all of our brave firefighting people and all the people who have had to be displaced from their communities and shipped somewhere for them to live until they go home to find out whether their homes have been destroyed or not. And that's really sad that climate change has come to this point where there's wildfires all over, and the storms, like the flooding in Texas and the major loss of life in Texas as well. And that's really, really sad. So we say some prayers for all of the people down in Texas as well, and anybody else who's dealing with these unfortunate earth occurrences, earth weather events, the wildfires in California as well, because all of our Canadian firefighters went to help in California as well. So it's all over the world. In fact, I just heard that Australian firefighters were on their way to Canada to help with the firefighting, because when they had major wildfires down there a couple of years ago, I think it was just before COVID, all our Canadian firefighters went down there. Anyhow, keep an eye out for the Magnolia Ray. That's going to be coming soon as a tutorial. And thank you for hanging out with me today as I did a zipper installation for these wonderful, lovely, fashionable compression stockings. And I'm just so thankful I don't have to wear them. But if I can help somebody be more comfortable, then that's what's important. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you the next time.